In today's video, I want to share with you 5 hot altcoins to have on your radar for the rest of the month of January. My name's Lark. Every day I make videos talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's a topic you'd like to learn some more about, maybe just stay up to date with, then you should definitely subscribe to the Lark Davis channel. Also, you can take a quick second to tap on that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. That would be super awesome. And of course, anybody who would like to receive a notification when I put out a new video, you should click on the notification bell. By the way, every single week my team and I produce Wealth Mastery. This is a cryptocurrency investor report designed to help keep you ahead of the curve in this fast-moving market. Every single issue, you're going to get a deep dive altcoin review, a step-by-step DeFi tutorial, top-tier technical analysis, token sales, airdrops, portfolio updates, NFT updates, and much, much more. All of that for less than $10 a week for the premium version. Or if you want to sign up, we have a free version of the newsletter. That's right, $0, free version of the newsletter. Click down below on the link in the description where you can learn more about signing up today. Now let's go ahead and get into the coins, the good stuff, what you're here for. We're first going to start by talking about Terra, the Terra Luna coin. Man, this thing has been absolutely freaking crazy. I was lucky to get in at $6. I wish I had listened to Mike Novogratz and bought it at $2 when he said he was buying it. But hey, you know, you can't time them all perfectly, but a $6 entry is pretty gosh darn good. And this one actually did take a bit of profits on recently when it tapped $100. I got my initial capital out. So basically I've got a very large moon bag left of Terra. Is about 90% plus of my original position. Now, I think that Terra still has a lot of juice left in it, and here is why. The UST dollar stablecoin. Now, I just want to point out, look, Terra right now, it's like the 10th biggest cryptocurrency or something like that. Don't get your expectations too high that this thing's going to go like a million X. 100% gains. I could still see that happening for this coin, but just, you know, keep the expectations reasonable for this one. However, due to the mechanics of the UST stablecoin along with Luna, the Terra asset, this coin, I think, has some very interesting mechanics that could send it up to be worth a couple $100, potentially a few $100 during this market cycle. And I think that we're starting to see a lot of interest coming in for the Terra ecosystem right now. We're starting to see a lot of new applications. I remember the CEO of Terra, he was saying late last year they have a couple hundred applications coming to the Terra blockchain this year. Well, it's this year, right? So 2022 is here, it's happening. So we're going to start seeing these come in. But also the UST stablecoin has found a home right across DeFi. We're seeing it being used in Curve Finance and on Avalanche, and it's over on Phantom, and it's all over the place. The UST stablecoin's all over the place. And this thing is, every time you want to make more UST stablecoins, you need to burn Luna. Now look at this here. What has been happening with the UST stablecoin? Surging freaking adoption. That's what's been happening. It's been going absolutely crazy. There's been so many lucrative stablecoin farms for the UST stablecoin that has been driving a lot of interest into UST. And of course, the more UST gets minted, the higher the price of Luna is likely to go because they have to burn Luna in order to make UST. It's a very virtuous cycle between these two coins, the stablecoin and the Luna asset. So because of that, I am remaining a bull on Terra and think that there is some interesting things coming for it in the not so distant future. The next one, Chainlink, our old buddy Chainlink, man. Chainlink, the oracle of oracles. Chainlink has been doing some pretty gosh darn impressive stuff. Now, I'd say ever since the big Oracle season of 2020. Was it 2020? Is that how long ago Oracle season was? It seems like ages ago. Anyway, back in the day when we had Oracle season, Chainlink, of course, went from being worth like $2 up to like $50. It was crazy. It was a good time. Good time. Very exciting times for Chainlink. We also saw a lot of other oracles popping up. Some of those went on to capture some percentages of market share. Some of them just crashed and burned, and we've, not really heard anything from them since. But Chainlink just keeps on chainlinking, man. And it has been getting some great levels of adoption. Currently $75 billion of total value secured by Chainlink's oracles. That's a 10x increase over the previous year. I think 2020, looking forward, we're going to see this go into the hundreds of billions. Obviously, we're at 75 billion now, so getting to 100 billions, not that far away, but this will get into the hundreds of billions of dollars. And so you have to start thinking, okay, this network secures with their trusted data feeds hundreds of billions of dollars of value, but the asset itself is only worth like 10, 15 billion dollars, whatever the current market cap of Chainlink is. Probably not enough when you start considering the long-term implications of some of the things that's going on here with Chainlink. So they're currently supporting over 700 Oracle networks. That is massive. Right across the way, it was not just DeFi stuff, a lot of DeFi stuff, but also sports statistics and proof reserves, weather even. The weather's obviously very important to be getting right on chain. Chainlink now working with more than 1,000 freaking projects. That's massive, man. Half of those integrations happened in 2021. I think 2022, we're going to see probably this double. And again, you have to ask yourself, what is the correct market cap for something that is such a critical piece of infrastructure for the entire cryptocurrency market? And is the current market cap the correct one or not? Chainlink also working across a dozen blockchains and layer 2s. We also have Arbitrum and Optimism, for example, on here, but Ethereum, Avalanche, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Phantom, Huobi, EcoChain, Harmony, Moonriver, all the good stuff, all the most popular stuff in the market. Chainlink is working with them. These are the chains that have the highest total values locked in DeFi, the highest number of users, and of course, the most potential to have more applications coming on board that will need Chainlink's Oracle services. We also, of course, have some major updates. Covered a bit of this in a news video the other day, but just to reiterate some of these very, very important things, we have cross-chain interoperability coming up for Chainlink, and we also, of course, have the much-awaited introduction of Chainlink staking. Very exciting times for the Chainlink community, so this makes it one to keep an eye on for the rest of the month with all these big catalysts starting to kick off. The third coin is a brand new coin called Solice. Solice. So the Solice Metaverse. This is the first cross-platform VR metaverse on the Solana blockchain. Now, we've been talking at length on the channel about how big Metaverse is going to be. A lot of the metaverses that I have talked about up until this point have been Ethereum-based metaverses. Wilder World, High Street, Sandbox, Decentraland, that's all Ethereum-based stuff. Now, what are we seeing happening? We're starting to see this expansion across chain. I feel like Solana is really gunning for the sort of NFT metaverse gaming niche with a lot of the products that we see coming to the Solana blockchain. So that's exactly what we could be looking at here with these guys. We'll play a little bit of kind of what their metaverse is going to look like, what some of their products are going to be. Behind me here, you can see this going. So it's very, obviously this is, their trailer version, but still it gives you an idea of what this is going to look like, what this world is going to look like. You can see they've got back here Alameda Research, Defiance Capital, Three Arrows Capital. These are all the big venture capital firms that have put their money behind these guys because they know that Metaverse is going to be big, because they know that Solana is going to continue to be big. And when we start looking at beautiful metaverses like this, it's exciting. It's exciting. I get excited about this kind of stuff. There's these metaverse things. Animoca Brands, of course, I'm on board as well. But I get very excited about these really cool metaverses, the potential for these metaverses to really bring in users and to get a lot of traction. And everybody's out there basically looking for the next Sandbox, the next Decentraland. Well, here is something that could be the version of that, but on Solana. Now, a little bit more about what these guys are doing. So you can, of course, play within their metaverse. So get in, play with the virtual reality, do, gaming and different crypto stuff within their metaverse. You can buy and sell assets on their marketplace. So this is an exchange that you can use as well within their metaverse. You can, of course, also earn within the game. So it's a play to earn metaverse, obviously. The ability to earn within these games is going to be super, super important. So they say here, doing things like clearing out a dungeon or playing a mini game or completing a quest or receiving entrance fees for your own creations. And that, I think, is something that just blows my mind about the potential for this metaverse stuff. So you could actually buy a piece of land within their metaverse, create a game or an experience that people can have within that metaverse, and you can charge people to come and partake in that. That's super, super cool. Super, super cool. Just the ability for developers, for players to have a lot of fun in these ecosystems, user-built to an extent ecosystems, is super interesting. Now, there's also going to be another feature which I find very fascinating, and that is going to be their custom editor. So basically, it is going to allow for users to create, assemble, and share different 3D model assets, as well as, of course, to build mini games. So it makes it a lot easier for people to build assets, build games, sell those assets within the gaming world. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm very excited about this one. Now, their token is just listing, so depending on when this video comes out, they will have just listed or just be about to list. So just keep in mind, if you are interested in acquiring this one, that listing days can tend to have a bit of price drama. So just, be patient, watch for a good entry if you are interested in getting yourself into this particular metaverse play over on Solana. Now let's go ahead and talk about Curve Finance. The website is super simple. The first time I heard about Curve and looked at the website, I was like, what's this? What's up with this website, man? Now, of course, I use Curve Finance all the time, man, and it is one of my biggest farms, and of course, in collaboration with Convex Finance. Now, Convex Finance has basically taken over the governance of Curve Finance. So it's like this protocol sitting on top of it, essentially, if you can think of it like that. So they have introduced pools that have attracted the liquidity positions of Curve Finance. Now look, I've talked about Curve, I've talked about Convex before multiple times on the channel when they were worth way, way less than they are right now. However, I still believe that these assets have a very big potential in front of them. Both Curve or Convex Finance, either way you want to look at it. Both of these assets, I still think, have great potential. They're both only worth a few $1 billion each in market cap. I think that these are protocols that have the potential to be worth tens of billions of dollars in market cap. So again, we're not talking about, 100 or 1000x gains here, maybe a 10x on these. However, I would like to point out that both Curve and Convex, you can farm these. Now, in particular with Convex, Convex only works on Ethereum layer 1 right now, so you are going to be paying some pretty hefty gas fees if you do want to go and farm that. However, Curve operates on multiple chains, including at Ethereum layer 2, so you can go use it on Arbitrum, you can use it on Polygon, you can use it on Avalanche. It's actually got some really great high yield farms, 20, 30, 40% yield farms paid out in Curve tokens. So if you want to get exposure to Curve without having to buy it and not having to pay crazy amounts of gas fees, well, you can actually go and use a layer 2 or use something like Polygon to go and farm some Curve tokens. That being said, I think that the massive demand for both of these tokens and sort of the symbiotic relationship between the two of them will see both of these protocols going higher. And the interesting thing too here that I want to point out, the majority of the supply of both of these coins is locked up. So that means that what is available on the market is a very small fraction of the total supply of these coins, which again means that we can look at that as a really big price catalyst because the demand for these coins is continuing to rise all the time because the yields are so good, because the potential for the controlling of the governance and the bribes that go on to get the people doing the governance to actually vote on different protocols, the rewards are massive right now. So it's driving a lot of demand for these coins. I don't see that demand going anywhere. All I see is that demand starting to pick up as different DeFi protocols are starting to announce that, hey, we're going to start acquiring these tokens as reserve assets within our broader portfolios. So we actually have DeFi protocols coming in, buying Curve, buying Convex tokens, and then locking them up and getting the big rewards. So it's a very interesting relationship between these two coins. I'm bullish on both of them. I'm farming both of them. I'm not buying. Well, I actually did buy some Curve just as a speculative play. I bought a bunch of Curve at $4 over on Binance, looking to sell it for about $20 or something like that. But that's mostly farming though. I'm mostly farming it, mostly farming these two coins, getting them for free, quote unquote. You can see here as well the total value locked in these protocols. They are number 1 and number 2 in all of crypto. Number 1 Curve, number 2 Convex Finance for total value locked, both over $20 billion. So the success is there, and I think it's only going to keep building because of the game theory involved between these two protocols. Now let's move on to the, I guess, 5th/6th, because there's technically 2 that we're going to talk about here, but really I'm kind of talking about Polkadot and the release or upcoming release of Polkadot protocols. In particular, I want to talk about Acala and Moonbeam. Now, they have both announced that they will be releasing their tokens this month. So coming up very, very soon to a market near you, you're going to be able to buy Acala tokens and you're going to be able to buy Moonbeam tokens. So I'm very excited to see the launch of these protocols on top of Polkadot. I think it's a very exciting time for Polkadot to see this finally happening. And it's great for these protocols. We've been talking about Acala and Moonbeam here on the channel for like a year now or something like this. So it's great to see them finally coming to fruition, finally happening. And of course, finally being able to get those tokens in your hands. Now, obviously, the play here would have been to contribute your DOT to the crowd loan. Now, I personally took all of my DOT, all of my Polkadot, and that's a lot of Polkadot, all my Polkadot and locked it up into crowd loans. I backed Acala, I backed Moonbeam, I backed Parallel Finance, I backed Efinity, and I threw a little bit into a few of the other ones as well. However, those are my biggest plays, and so I'm very excited to see them coming out. I hope that some of you guys are able to contribute to the crowd loans as well, because that's probably where the money is really going to be made, because you put your DOT in, you get your DOT back in 2 years, and you get a bunch of free tokens on top of it. That being said, I do believe that there is an opportunity for playing these tokens. So Acala had a token launch on the Kusama network. Kusama, in case you're not familiar, is the baby brother of Polkadot. You can see here what happened to that token. Now, you were able to get a good early entry as people basically just started selling the second they got their tokens and started and listed. People who were up already said, great, I'm just going to sell and take profits. So there was actually an interesting entry point for a few days here. So from the 20th all the way up to the 29th, so about a week period, there was a good entry point here for the Acala Kusama version called Karura. After which, we went from $4 up to $12. So it was a nice 200% profit there for anybody who was accumulating during this initial listing sort of malaise. Similarly, with Moonbeam, very bullish on Moonbeam. This is basically Ethereum, but on top of Polkadot. Very excited about this one. Let's see the price action, though, of their Kusama version called Moon River. Now, what do we see happen with Moon River? Listed around $83. We saw an initial price pump, and we saw there's a good time when you could get it between $80 and basically $150 approximately for it, then blasted up, actually got up to an all-time high of around $500. So again, 200 to 300%, 400% gains came in for those early buyers. Because again, what we had we had the listing, we had a lot of people who got their tokens, selling those tokens to lock in profits because they were up a lot instantly. This is the thing, is the people who, especially anybody who had bought Kusama cheap, right? If you bought Kusama at like 5 or 10 or 20 bucks, you were up massively, massively on your Moon River position, even when it listed at 80 bucks. Had you held on a bit longer, it would have been even better for you. Early buyers did very well. Now, again, I'm not saying to run out and throw your life savings in. Of course, never financial advice, just my thoughts on the market right now. But you can see what happened with the Kusama versions of both of those coins. I'll be very curious to see if we have a repeat of the Polkadot versions of those coins. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. Your question, what coin did I not mention that abso-freaking-lutely should have been on this list? Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.